Hello, ClioCon. Welcome to today's presentation, where I'm going to be talking about how to implement Clio for Clients, our client portal. Before we get started, I just want to give a huge thank you to our innovator exhibiting partners that you can see on the slide here. And I also want to give a big thank you to our visionary exhibiting partners that you see here. My name is Samir, and I'm a senior product manager at Clio. And I work on our client portal, also known as Clio for Clients. I'm excited to speak with all of you today about how you can make the best use of our client portal. So here's what I'm going to cover today. First, let's talk about what are client portals and why are they so beneficial for your law firm. Next, I'll share some best practices for you to help you and your staff get the most out of our client portal. Finally, I'll share some tips that you can actually pass on to your clients to make sure they're getting the best client experience possible. And then at the end, we'll leave time for all of your questions. So let's first talk about why should you use a client portal in the first place? The first benefit is that they're more convenient for both you and your clients. Can I just see a show of hands? How many of you find yourselves having to jump back and forth between emails, text messages, phone calls, voicemails, right? It just goes on and on. So the beauty of a client portal is it actually centralizes all of the communication for both of you. And that keeps things really organized rather than being scattered across those multiple channels. Now, it also ensures that nothing gets missed or falls through the cracks, like an important deadline, right? You don't want something that's sitting in your inbox that you just forgot about because it was buried with all of your other emails. I will also add another benefit, which I'm sure we can all appreciate, is it keeps your personal and your work conversations separate, and I'm sure we would all love that. Finally, by using the client portal, you get instant notifications sent to you, as well as to your clients, whenever there's an update on the case, rather than having to dig through your inbox or text to kind of piece together what's going on. The second benefit is that it's more secure to use a client portal rather than traditional methods like email. In fact, if you look at the American Bar Association's Confidentiality of Information Act, it states, lawyers must make reasonable efforts to prevent unauthorized access or disclosure of client information. If your clients use the Clio for Clients app, it offers an extra layer of privacy protection by integrating with Face ID, Touch ID, or their fingerprint. Now, what that means is if someone were to get a hold of their phone, only they can still access all of their files and messages. So this can be really helpful in cases where someone may get unauthorized access to their device, and such as in a divorce or a family case. And if the worst case does happen, and someone does get that unauthorized access, you can easily unshare and revoke full access for that person. Now, contrast that with email. That's just not possible. Once something is in an email, it's out there forever. Third and finally, it's simply a better experience for you and your clients. Your clients getting a dedicated app or website to engage with your lawyer, that's really on par with today's consumer expectations. You know, we live in a world where we can order food, hail a ride right from our phones. Communicating with your lawyer should be no different. It's a really easy way to stand out. In fact, in the 2020 Legal Trends Report, we saw 69% of consumers said that they prefer working with a lawyer who can share documents electronically through a web page, an app, or an online portal. And that's in 2020. Since the rise of remote work and virtual working, that number has surely only gone up. And so using a client portal is a really easy way to stand out as an innovative law firm. And it helps you both attract new clients as well as retain your existing ones and make them more satisfied. Now, we also know that getting clients to respond to you is a whole nother problem, right? You're having to chase them down with phone calls, texts, and emails. Again, the beauty of a client portal, we actually see that clients are way more responsive if there's a portal compared to those other communication methods. In fact, our data actually shows that 60% of all messages on the client portal are responded to by the client in less than 10 minutes. And 75% of them are responded to within 1 hour. Now, contrast that with email, where, as we all know, response times can range from days to weeks to never. And having the mobile app helps with this because they're going to get those instant notifications right when you send them that message or that file that they need to act on. So, can I get a show of hands? Who in the room is already using a client portal today? Okay, pretty good. So about a third of you, maybe a quarter of you. Now, hands raised again. How many of you plan to start using a client portal now if you're not already? And if I'm doing my job right, every single hand in this room should be raised. Awesome. Okay, we have some stragglers still. I'll get you by the end. So now that most of you are convinced, let's talk about some best practices and common pitfalls to avoid with the portal. So the first best practice we recommend is to try to stick to one communication channel, the portal, right? When you have all that info scattered across multiple channels, it can only cause confusion and delays. So with the portal, not only can you exchange messages and documents and folders, but your clients can also see their upcoming appointments and deadlines, and they can even view and pay their bills through the portal, all in that one place. Now, we understand that as you onboard your clients into the portal, an initial email can be helpful, right? Because you want to give them those instructions. And we actually have some resources to help with this, which I will cover in a bit. But once you've onboarded them in there, try to keep them on the portal as much as possible. Now, we understand that phone calls are, of course, still helpful. The phone call is not dead. When you need to discuss things out live, right, or synchronously, and maybe that's more in the initial information gathering phase. But when it comes to asynchronous communication, so communicating during the case, kind of on your own time, try to keep it all in one place. And who doesn't love less phone calls, right? All right. Our second best practice is to make sure that you're using the client portal in a collaborative way. It's meant to be one channel for everyone in your law firm, plus the client and any other parties that might be involved in the case. And so that's what makes it more suitable than texting, for example, right? Once you've created the client portal in Clio, you can actually add anyone from your law firm, so any of your staff members, as well as anyone from your contact list, not just the client, into the portal. And so the beauty is that everyone in the portal will be able to see who was added and when, so nobody's caught off guard. And you can still manage those permissions to make sure that only people who should have access to that file can see everything in there. And if needed, you can always remove people, right? So let's say you have a staff member who leaves the firm, or they're moving on to another case and they don't need that access anymore. You can always remove someone in case they're no longer needed in the discussions. All right, now another show of hands. How many of you have had a client claim that they didn't receive something from you, but you know you for sure did, right? Really, really common, right? We know. And so that's why we've actually added read receipts into the client portal. So this will actually allow you to see the exact date and timestamp from when a client has read any of your messages, as well as when they've viewed or opened any of the documents that you've sent them. The receipts don't lie. So this is really handy for both proactively tracking if a client has opened what you sent them, as well as reactively showing that you indeed sent that thing. So to set this up, there's a toggle in the client portal that you see on the screen here that says show all client portal events. Just make sure that you turn this on because this is going to be off by default, so you'll need to turn it on for all of your portals. All right, next up. So we know that for many of you, you have a website, and that website is what we would call your personal storefront. It's where you want your clients to go and get that really branded white glove feel. That's why we've made it super easy to actually link directly to the client portal straight from your website. So to set this up, all you have to do is actually add a link on your website that hyperlinks to clients.clio.com. That's it. Your clients will be able to navigate the portal directly from your website. So no need to go through Clio or their email inbox or ask you how to get in. You can actually just say, hey, go to my website. The button's right there. And so that makes it feel like much more of a branded, personalized experience. And a friendly tip for those of you who also have Clio Grow, we have a feature in there that lets you build your own website with no design or coding skills required. And with that feature, you can actually easily add a link to the client portal from there. So for those of you whose websites are built with Clio Grow, make sure you have this on in your settings. All right, next tip. For you, make sure you also have the Clio mobile app downloaded on your device. And make sure you've got those notifications on. Because what that does is it's going to ensure that you get instantly notified the moment a client has responded to you, sent you an important document, or even paid their bill. Fast response times for you back to the client are super important, and having the app installed ensures that you'll never miss one of those updates, and you can always respond even if you're away from your desk or your computer. Finally, we've actually created a handy guide that you can send directly to your clients to help them get started with the portal. There is a QR code on the screen here, which I see many of you scanning. Feel free to do that. But make sure that you include this guide in your initial communication to them. Perhaps send it over email or text them the link. So what this guide covers is how to access the portal, what it's going to be used for, how to log in, how to send over messages and upload documents, and so on. This guide, again, the QR code is on the screen. It's also available on our website. We also have copies of this in the product lab if you want to come check us out there after. We have tons of them on hand. All right, now finally, for you, the most important thing is that we want to make sure that you get paid and on time. Using the portal, your clients can actually directly pay their bills online using either the mobile app or the website. This will require you to be using Clio Payments, which we can help set you up with if you're not already, if you visit us in the exhibitor hall. And one of the beauties is that clients can even pay using mobile wallets such as Apple Pay or Google Pay, again, offering that really modern, convenient experience that consumers expect. And so rather than having to chase down clients via email, sending out those billing reminders, using the portal ensures you actually get paid faster, but also while offering your clients a more seamless experience. Just make sure that when you're in Clio, you're sharing your bills via the client portal rather than via email. All right, so now I'm going to provide some data to back this up. So we have actually seen in this year's legal trends report that law firms of all sizes see reduced lockup times when using the client portal. And what I mean by lockup is from the moment that their time ends up on a bill to the time that that money actually gets paid to them and in their bank account. So on the screen here, first, you're going to see the lockup times for firms who do not use Clio for Clients. Now, in green, these are the lockup times for firms who do use Clio for Clients. Look at that difference. You can actually get paid up to 17 days sooner, according to our data. All right, now let's talk about some best practices that you can actually pass on to your clients. Some of them have maybe never used a client portal before, so it's important to effectively onboard them as you begin working on their case. So number one, if your clients use the mobile app, it offers that extra layer of privacy protection, again, with Face ID, Touch ID, or fingerprint. So again, if someone gets access to their phone, only they will be able to access it because it's protected by their identity. And if the worst case does happen, someone does get that unauthorized access, you can easily revoke that access completely and they won't be able to get into anything. Number two, this is actually one of my favorite parts of the client portal. Make sure that your clients are using the built-in document scanner. So I'm going to ask for a show of hands. How many of you have received photos from clients that were very clearly taken with their smartphone, blurry, hard to read, God knows when that camera was invented, it's not even in color, right? And it's separated into individual images, right? You're getting 8 pages of a JPEG and then you gotta upload it and convert it into a PDF and merge it. You don't need to do that anymore. The client portal app takes care of all of that for you automatically. So what this does is the scanner actually lets your clients scan as many pieces of paper as they'd like, and the app will actually automatically crop the pieces of paper, adjust the lighting to make it clear, and best of all, it's going to convert all those pages into one single combined PDF. Pro tip, if you're all jealous right now, the Clio mobile app also has this feature, so don't feel left out. As of now, yes. As part of Clio Duo. Yes. The question for folks who didn't hear was, are those documents OCR'd, so optical character recognition? So can the content be searched? If you have Clio Duo, the answer is yes. All right, so number 3. We know that many of you have clients who speak different languages than you. And from what we've heard, this is most commonly Spanish. That's why we've actually now added full support for Spanish in the client portal. So your clients will be able to navigate, read, and view everything on both the web and mobile apps in Spanish. And you don't have to change anything on your end. All your clients have to do is select their preferred language when they sign into the portal for the first time, and they can also change it at any time from the portal's settings. And we actually see that nearly 10% of all clients are now using this option with our portal. So, if there's one sentence I want you to take away from today, Clio's client portal is hands down the most secure and easiest way to communicate with your clients. So I know I've given you a lot of tips today, and I'm gonna try and whittle it down to 5 things if you're gonna remember anything from this talk. So number 1, both you and your clients absolutely gotta be using the mobile app, so you get notified right away of those key updates and can respond quickly. Number 2, send your clients the Getting Started guide to help them understand how to use the portal. Number 3, make sure that your clients set up the privacy lock so that their case information is fully secure and protected by their identity. Number 4, encourage them to use the built-in scanner so you get one clean PDF of all that important paperwork. And finally, make sure that you send them their bills via the client portal where they can pay directly in the app. And that means you get paid faster. So, if you have any questions about the client portal, or if you want to see some new features added to it, please come visit us in the product lab. We're going to be there until the end of the day. If you need help getting started with the portal, please visit our Customer Success Center to ask your questions. And I'm happy to answer any of your questions now. So we will have a microphone coming around. So there's a gentleman in the front here that we'll start with.
I'm 100% into the portal. Every single one of my clients, when I onboard, goes into the portal.
Amazing.
The one problem that I have with the portal is I use the Clio app when I'm out of the office.
Yep.
I'm a mobile attorney, so short of carrying around a laptop, when I get a message in the portal, that's great.
Yep.
But if I need to communicate to a client, so if, as an example, I get a phone call to my paralegal, my paralegal sends me a Teams message and says, oh, I got a call from the client. Can you send them a message and tell them the answer?
Yep.
There doesn't seem to be any way in the Clio app for me to send a message via the portal. When will that get fixed?
That actually is in there. I can come take a look at that after and show you.
That would be great because I cannot find it.
I'll show you. It's in there. Yeah. I'll get that resolved for you. Let's go there.
It's a simple question. I'm trying to find the setup guide on your website and I can't find it. I can find it. It looks like just documentation. It doesn't look like it's clean.
The guide, I'll come find you after and get you that link. Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah, over there.
Hi, so I have a client who I had opened a portal for, and I sent her the link, and she used it just fine, and the message came through to my portal. But the message had said, I think that this link took me to an old client portal I had with a previous law firm. So I guess that's just what it looked like was happening from her end. And I was like, well, actually, I can't guarantee that that old law firm isn't seeing these messages. So maybe like wait to send anything. But I didn't know if it was just because it was like the same account, because I know they have to open an account and stuff to make the portal work.
So just so I understand, so this client of yours was working with another law firm as well who was using the portal?
Yeah, another law firm that I guess they had
was also using the portal? Yeah. So if that happens, the client has the option to toggle between different matters on the portal. What I suspect might have been happening here was the matter that it was loading by default was maybe the old one, and they might have not realized that they could toggle to the new one. And so they are able to toggle to them even if it's with a different law firm. The other law firm has no access to any of that whatsoever. It's completely separate. But they would just have to switch to that different matter. And I can show you afterwards how to do that if you want to take a look. Yeah. Any other? Yeah, there's a question back there. Yeah.
Hey, any chance that in the app we can do quiet time settings? So talking about getting the notifications, we're all about work-life balance, right? And a lot of our clients usually do stuff after they work because that's what they do. They work a lot. So a lot of the stuff we get is off hours.
Yeah.
Any way for that so I don't have to quiet time my whole phone but just maybe tame down the notifications.
So we don't have anything like that right now, but it is a common request we've heard. I'll connect with you after to get your info, and we can set up a follow-up chat. But yeah, it is a common piece of feedback we heard. So something we're considering for the future. Yeah, over there.
So my paralegal just asked you a question about my client who opened the portal and found herself communicating with her previous lawyer. My question to you is there a way for me to be able to see the experience that my client is having in Clio for Clients? I've tried to participate with Clio for Clients as a mock client, but I've been unsuccessful at doing that because I guess Clio already identifies me as a user of the Clio app.
I see. Yeah, so from within Clio, there is not a way to do that, but what you can do is you can make like a test client and like invite yourself to the portal and create like a test matter. If you haven't tried that, I can connect with you after and show you how to do that and make sure that you can get in, but it is possible. A lot of our customers have done that just to see what it looks like. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It just needs to be it just needs to be a different email address. So you could use like an alias or maybe a personal email or something instead.
Hi. We need a portal that let us show our client custom fields and matter details. Is that something in the process, or that's not in?
Yeah, no, it's a good point. What kind of custom fields would you want them to see?
A variety of them, like restricted, like part of the custom field. We don't want them to see everything, but part of them, and some matter details as well.
Okay. Let me connect with you after to get your details. It's not something we've got on the docket right now, but it is a request we've heard before, so I'll connect with you after. Question over there? Yeah.
Yeah. So say we bring clients into the portal sort of midway through their matter. We've issued a bunch of bills.
Yep.
We'd like them to see the old bills, or they would like to see them at least. So would we have to share those old bills with them through the portal?
Correct. No, unfortunately, you would have to share them through the portal. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Almost all of my clients really love the portal.
Awesome.
They understand it's like texting. Mm-hmm. Is there a way, and I must have missed it or something, can I share documents with clients from my end in the portal?
Yes, you can.
Where is that? I can't.
I'll come find you after and show you. So you can share either individual files or like even a designated folder that has multiple files in it. Yes, that is possible. Yeah. One over there.
In the portal, is there a way to put something as unread? So if I accidentally look at a message from a client but don't have time to reply?
Yeah. It's you heard the sigh in my voice. Unfortunately, not right now, but that is a very popular thing that we have heard. So it's on our radar. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello. Are we able to send documents to get e-signatures through the portal, or is that only through Manage?
Unfortunately, that's only through Manage. I will say there is actually an option to, if they're using the mobile app, if you send them a document through the portal, if they have an iPhone or an iPad, there is a built-in way to sign documents using the document functionality on the phone, but that's not going through like HelloSign or whatever e-signature or DocuSign, whatever provider you use. So yes, possible, but not through the kind of official system. Yeah. Yes.
So I remember early on when you launched this from a web browser, the client was going to try to upload multiple documents. Yep. It only did like one at a time. Has that been fixed?
It's been fixed. You can upload multiple. Okay. Yeah.
Because from the desktop it makes sense, right? Because that's probably where they have most of it.
Yeah. You can upload multiple. Good. All right. Well, awesome. I want to thank everyone so much for listening today, being such a great audience. I hope you took something valuable away from this talk. And if, again, would love to see you implementing those client portals, please come find me afterwards. I'll be in the product lab if you want to chat further. Thank you.